In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the CommSec broking platform. I'm going to talk about how I used to use the platform and share some of my tips to help you get better price execution. And this video is really going to suit anyone who's at a beginning level or an intermediate level with their investing journey. Now, everything's going to be covered under general advice and factual information. So I've seen a lot of the mistakes that people can make, and at the end of the day, I just want to share my knowledge and help people get better price execution, make some money on the way, and improve their investing or trading. We'll go straight to the home screen. I'm already logged in, and I think at a very high level, the home screen, pretty basic stuff. You can go straight into your holdings, watch lists, or you can manage your orders. Those are probably the important things for me. I personally like to use this quote tab up on the top right hand side. So a couple of really important things when looking at the marketplace as a whole. I have always found that CommSec works really well for the retail investor who is essentially looking to invest money rather than trade. The CommSec website is broken down into essentially a top-down sector approach, and it allows you to look at the marketplace from a very high level and drill down into each of the individual sectors and then see on the left-hand side here the individual sectors, okay? Energy, materials, industrials, consumer discretionaries, right through to financials and real estate. You can see how they performed over 1 day, 5 days, 1 month, and 1 year. And for me personally, I always like to just have a quick look and see on a relative basis how these sectors have performed against each other. And whilst that's not going to help me make a trade in the short term, it's going to help inform me about where I should be looking in the future around companies that might be undervalued or overvalued and how their sector has been performing. So we'll just drill down. We can go into sectors. We're going to break it down into sector information. What I'll do, I'll just pick an example as well. We'll go into financials. Financials make up about 30-odd%, 35% of the ASX 200. So we are very overweight financials in our marketplace. CBA being the largest company at $181 billion here is their market cap. So the market cap is the total number of shares times the total price. The total number of shares outstanding times the current price. So at the moment it's trading at 101.87 and 90. So if I want to sell shares, I'd sell them to the market at 101.87 cents. And if I was looking to buy them from the market, I'd be paying $101.90. So what we'll do, we'll go straight into a quote for the Commonwealth Bank. We can see here that the market depth, the market has moved since that quote, which doesn't surprise me at all. What we can see the volume, the number of shares that are currently being offered at those prices, and likewise with the sellers, anyone who already has shares, same thing, the price and the number of shares that are looking to be sold. This here where it says number, this is typically the number of orders or the number of parcels of shares for that particular volume at that particular price. Now on the right hand side, we've got here a little graph, and it allows you to drill down into how the stock has been performing over the last couple of days, month, year. And this, same again, I tend not to use it unless it's in a really short time frame. So for example, I might look at it at 1 day, have a quick look at where the stock's been trading, and that might inform me where I might potentially get a little bit more volume. So what I will do in future videos, I will tell you some stories about how I once had to sell about half the daily volume of one of Australia's favourite listed investment companies, and just what our approach was when selling that much and not moving the price. I think that'd be a good story for the future. So with the Commonwealth Bank, we'll just refresh this data. We can see that a bit more volume's gone through. Price hasn't changed that much. And I think because the market's about to close, we'll go into one of the ETFs and we'll do a demonstration on how to place a trade. So this is the ASX 200 ETF, the STW. I've got a separate radio interview that I did back in the day when I was a financial advisor. I'm not one at the moment. And once again, I went out to the company, I asked them all about their product, and basically I got a full in-depth discussion about how their product works and some of the features of that particular product. I'll link the details down below. Very, very informative if you have not done a lot of research into ETFs. But with that said, this is the ASX 200 ETF. We've got volume and price here for the buyers and the sellers. Now, this is actually a market-made product. So market makers are putting bids and offers into the market where they are willing to buy and sell these securities. And they would then either, for example, sell those shares from their own inventory. Okay, so they hold a basket of the STW, for example, and they would be selling out of their own pocket. Or likewise, they'd be willing to buy those shares off you at a particular price. Now, the reason that they do this is that they want to reduce the volatility. They want to ensure that prices are stable. And the other thing as well is that these products are so deep and so liquid, even when the market is so volatile, they're really just very, very robust. There's plenty of information in my ETF interview. Now, with that said, what we're going to do is we're going to go straight in. We're just going to place an order. This is the trading tab. I'm buying shares. What I'm going to do is tell the system what type of order I want to put in. I want to buy the STW. It's going to pre-populate this section here, which is the name of the security. On the right-hand side here, it's giving me the quote information, so the bid and the offer, and then the last price. It's telling me the market status and the trading status. So in some situations, the stock might be closed, but the market is open. And likewise, down the bottom here, it's going to give me the depth. And what I want to do here is just put in some dummy information. Let's say, for example, I want to go out and buy 100 shares, and I want to go out and I want to pay $67 for those shares. Okay. What the system is going to do here is put an order out all the way down, which was essentially way down the bottom here, nearly $1 below the current price, for me to go out and buy 100 shares. One of the great features of this platform is, let's say I want to devote $10,000 to the investment. The system will pre-populate that with the volume that I need to purchase, in this case 149 shares, at $67. And then we've got the bottom down here, we see how much that order is going to cost me. We're going to see the brokerage price, or the brokerage cost there, including GST, and then the total amount that I would need to have in my CDIA account at settlement. Okay. Now, a couple of really interesting things here. Let's switch the example up. Let's go back to, let's go to Afterpay. Let's go in and place a buy order. Now, the reason I've switched over to Afterpay is a little bit more volatile, and hopefully we can get some movement as I'm doing this. So let's say I want to go out and I want to buy 100 shares. I'm willing to go out and purchase the shares at $96. We're going to go good for day, which means at the close of business, after hours, this order is going to get purged from the system, and tomorrow this order won't be sitting in the depth, the queue, for it to get filled. So this one here is for a total value of $9,619.95. I can then click on proceed. This is where it's going to summarize my order. This is where I would double check that I'm buying Afterpay. This screen here is to help you with fat fingers and essentially stop you buying the wrong stock or the wrong amount or at the wrong price. So this is just a filter for you to check that what you want to do and what you're actually going to do is the same thing.